The iPhone 11 in 2020, the perfect iPhone. I'm gonna say something now that a few days ago I might not have thought possible. There's a chance, maybe slim, maybe not, that we won't see the iPhone 12 this year. I'm not trying to be alarmist or anything. I'm just saying that the way things are rolling out, it's kind of looking like things are going to be delayed a little bit more than we thought they might be. Maybe. It's just looking at our very fluid world situation, it seems to me as likely that production of the iPhone 12 might slip into the new year as not. I could be wrong. I'd like to be wrong. One of the stats that's been floating around over the past couple of weeks is that Apple may be in a position to experience what we call a super cycle of iPhone sales this year. Nearly 1/3 of the iPhone users out there are in the window for an upgrade. So that means a lot of people will be looking for iPhones. A lot of people are going to be asking, well, what iPhone should I buy? My answer right now, into the future, the iPhone 11. It's pretty much the perfect iPhone, and it will be for a while. The big question in the smartphone world has always been buy now or wait for the new model. A few days ago, we were looking at the probable release of a new, less expensive iPhone 9 in just a few weeks. We expected to hear about it at an event that was never announced but has now been canceled. We know that Apple has plans for a complete list of products in 2020, but given the current public health crisis, it's safe to say that there are no bankable timelines for any of these releases. The good news is we already have this perfect iPhone available to us right here, right now in the iPhone 11. It does most everything well. It does nothing poorly. When buying an iPhone 11, you're not making any sacrifices to buy the less expensive phone. You're making choices. And there's a big difference between a sacrifice and a choice. Yes, the more expensive iPhones may be made of better, stronger materials in some cases, and have a couple of extra features, but where it counts, on the inside, the iPhone 11 and its contemporaries are the same, and the iPhone 11 comes in fun colors. The iPhone 11, like the iPhone XR before it, is a very unique phone. When the XR was announced, I was loudly skeptical about its viability. I still remember the iPhone 5C, which I actually liked as a phone and thought was a potentially good product for Apple, but ultimately it came off as like half-baked and not really that great a product, and maybe one of the few failures in the iPhone era. This time around with the iPhone XR, Apple was making some compromises, but also coming in at a lower price point, and it was really unclear at the time if anybody would buy it. On paper, the iPhone XR looked okay. It had one camera lens, it had an LCD display that wasn't even full HD. A lot of people, including myself, thought that was going to matter a lot, and it didn't. The iPhone XR was the best-selling iPhone for Apple that year. The iPhone 11 offers the same promise as the iPhone XR, but with a few pluses. For one, Apple seriously overhauled their camera setup in 2019, bringing a triple camera array to the back of its higher-priced Pro phones, a wide-angle, an ultra-wide, a telephoto. The iPhone 11 got two of those lenses, the wide-angle and the ultra-wide, and those are the two that, for me, losing the telephoto was not that big a deal. It's just fine. The ultra-wide I use all the time, more than I ever thought I would before ultra-wides were widely on smartphones. I don't know how, widely, ultra-wide, widely. Okay, the iPhone 11 does what a lot of phones can't do these days. It gives you what you need with very few compromises in an attractive package at a reasonable price. Since 2017, when the iPhone X first hit the $1,000 mark, there's been a features arms race among phone manufacturers. Screens have gotten bigger, refresh rates have gotten faster, more RAM, more camera, more leaping tall buildings and single bounds. Every flagship phone is trying to stake its claim as the foremost phone on the very lip of the bleeding edge of everything that there is to be about a phone. We have foldable phones that are pushing the form factor that one day might come out to be something that's worthwhile, but right now they're not there. It used to be that each year phones would improve in some significant way. They'd be faster, the screens would be better, bigger, clearer, the cameras more packed with features, the pictures themselves more clear. And the difference from one year to the next change our experience with a phone significantly, but that's not the case today. 1 year to the next is not that different. A couple of years ago, we reached peak smartphone, where the improvement of the technology stopped keeping pace with the production cycles that the manufacturers needed to meet to keep the money flowing. No phone released this year will be leaps and bounds better than the model that came before it. That's just the way it is now. And we may see fewer new phones this year than in any year in the smartphone era. No one really knows how things are going to play out here, but it's safe to say that we're going to go longer between new iPhone models than we have, maybe ever. There's a lot of other things to be concerned about, but that doesn't mean people won't still need phones. That's why I'm looking at the iPhone 11 in a much different light. It is, in my opinion, the perfect iPhone. It comes down to the balance of the features, the price. The iPhone 11 Pro starts at $300 more, but it's not $300 more phone. The iPhone 11 Pro Max starts at $400 more, and it's bigger, but again, not $400 more of a phone. The iPhone 9 may change that math at coming in at $400, but until it hits the market, the iPhone 11 is the best iPhone for the most people to buy. Let's face it, there's a chance, however slim, that we might not see a new iPhone this year. Or if we do, it may be deep into the fall, maybe even into the holiday season. For the people who will be in the market for a new iPhone, the more than 1/3 of a billion iPhones out there that are due for some kind of upgrade this year, I say buy the iPhone 11. You're not missing out on anything. It's basically the perfect smartphone. The balance of features, cost, quality, all that kind of stuff, make it the phone that most people need. And since we don't know when we might see the next iPhone, the iPhone 11 might be my choice for many months to come. The long and short of the iPhone is this. It has all the features that you want in an iPhone. It has none of the premium costs that go over $1,000, and it will last you forever. So if you want a great phone that's going to be the phone that you can use, not just this year, next year, but into the years beyond, the iPhone 11 is the phone to get. So is it worth buying the iPhone 11 in 2020? I say yes, absolutely. Worth buying in 2020. In fact, it might be the only phone worth buying in 2020.